Australian batsmen have been struggling. In the last Perth test, their top four made just 29 runs between them, both innings combined. This continued the theme of their diminishing returns, often left to be rescued by somebody in their lower middle order. Ironically, this is the same theme we have seen with the Indian team so often in the last 4 or 5 years as well. For Australia, it was the likes of Head, Mars, Carey, and Cummins. In the current Australian team, only Alex Carey is averaging more than 30 in Test this year. The injured Cam Green also has an average of over 50, but that is mostly due to one not-out innings of 174 he played in New Zealand earlier. Some Aussie batsmen have complained that the batting has become tougher on Australian wickets. They say the wickets used to be flatter earlier with very little grass left at the start of the game. The Kookaburra ball used to have just a single layer of lacquer, now they have two, which aids the ball to swing more. Also, the seam on the ball is a lot more pronounced now. All of these conditions combine to aid the new ball bowlers to get more swing and seam and makes it difficult for the top order batsmen. As you can see through this chart, Australian top 7 this year has a batting average higher than that of only Bangladesh and West Indies. Surprisingly, Sri Lanka is on top here, followed by England and India, both of whom have played a lot of matches. Other teams in the middle there are New Zealand, South Africa and Pakistan, having very similar batting averages for top 7. Now, if you compare the number of innings played per 100 for number 1 to 7 batsmen for each team, once again Australia is ahead of only Bangladesh and West Indies this year, the two teams who are at the bottom of the WTC cycle. Surprisingly, all of the top 6 teams here have a very close average between 10 and 15 innings per 100 scored by the top 7. And Australia have more than double than that number and almost triple of that of the Indian team. Also, they haven't crossed 400 run mark even once in test matches this year. Last time Australia didn't cross 400 in a calendar year was in 1990. It's been a tough batting year all around. Australia aren't the only team struggling with bat this year. Take a look at the lowest totals this year in test matches. Australia appear only once in this list, and that was the Perth's first innings. There have been 3 totals of less than 55 all out just this year alone. The global batting average for number 1 to 7 has been a tad below 32 this year. Only 3 years have produced lesser than that, so Australia aren't trending massively below that. In the times after India's 46 all out against New Zealand, Mike Atherton wrote, "Although there are occasional exceptions, attack is now seen as the best, indeed the only form of defense." When was the last time you heard a captain or a coach deviate from the line, go harder? Could there ever be a scenario where modern captains and coaches would think otherwise? He added to that is the psychological shift post the prevalence of short form cricket of a wicket losing its value. The shorter the game, the fewer the consequences of getting out, and batsmen play more freely in all forms as a result than before. I am not arguing for a return to the blockathons of the past. By the way, although I would certainly argue that a more nuanced, less one-size-fits-all approach can work, merely trying to explain how the present player thinks differently and the occasional consequences of that, he added. Here you can see the lowest batting average of all teams year-wise, and you can see the 2024 has an average which is the third lowest, and during the contemporary times only 2018 has an average lower than that. Partly, this lower overall average is explained by the intuition of the modern day batsman to score quickly. A lot of that is down to the way England plays and its infectious effects on their opponents as well, but India's top order in the second innings of the Perth test match showed how to build a test innings by wearing down an attack. But broadly, it has become a case of getting them before the ball gets you, It seems that the modern day batsmen feel there is a ball with their name written on it. If you take a look at the current batting average of the top 7, except McSweeney, 5 of them now have career averages lower than what they started in Jan 2023 with. Only Mitchell Mars has improved his overall average, albeit from a much lower base. While these diminishing returns are also a sign of harder batting conditions worldwide, this begs the question, can Australia batting rise again? Thanks for watching. Until next time, see ya.